Welcome. Today we're about to delve into the powerful concept of embeddable AI and how it can fundamentally transform enterprises. Now let's consider a scenario. Let's take a supply chain logistics company, for example. Despite of having a robust infrastructure, they face challenges in optimizing their operations. Now let's give this company a name, let's say Supply Chain Master. Now consider embeddable AI, which is compact, intelligent module that seamlessly integrates into existing systems. And this is empowering them to learn, to adapt and to optimize. Now, Supply Chain Master, the company, integrates embeddable AI into their supply chain management system. And the transformation is remarkable. Now, the AI-assisted system now predicts demand fluctuations. It optimizes inventory, but also ensures that near perfect delivery schedules. Now, thereby significantly augmenting the supply chain master's operation efficiency, but also reducing the overhead. But this is just one instance. Embeddable AI applications are as diverse as the industry, and it can revolutionize from healthcare, from finance, but also up to manufacturing, and basically any industry where data is used. Now, this broadcast is brought to you in partnership with IBM, and it's my pleasure to introduce a distinguished speaker, George Kreitler. And he's responsible for embeddable AI and ISVs at IBM, and he is, I think, the authority in the realm of embeddable AI. Welcome, George.
Thank you, Ronald. Thanks for having me. My name is George Kreitler. Like Ronald said, I'm responsible for managing our worldwide embeddable AI business. I work with different software companies, hardware companies, managed service providers, professional services firms out there across the world who are interested in incorporating AI into their different products, services, managed services to do things like differentiate their offering, drive new revenue streams, increase efficiencies, cut costs, etc. So thanks again, Ronald. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure having you. It's an honor. Now, next to George, we have a fantastic audience today. Now, let us know in the chat where you're listening from today. Just put your name in the chat and put the country in it, and let me know where you're from. Probably we have a global audience, which is great. And as this is a live broadcast, ask any question during the session, and we will answer your questions at the end of the broadcast during our Q&A session. Now, throughout this discussion, George and I will explain real-world applications. We will analyze all different kinds of challenges, and we present informed insights harnessing embeddable AI for the enterprise's excellence. Now, welcome to Unlock the Power of Embeddable AI, creating this trustworthy AI-powered enterprise solutions. This is the intelligent world. Welcome back. Embeddable AI is like infusing a brain into your existing system. It's empowering them to think, to learn, and to make intelligent decisions autonomously. Now, the AI market is set to soar to 125 billion by 2025. And that's the opportunity you have to take a part of. And to harness this AI advantages, organizations must tackle all kinds of hurdles to integrating AI into their system. And embeddable AI is really streamlining this integration. It's some kind of, let's say, paving the way for you, for your business expansion and quicker launches, all kinds of new products and services. Now, let's talk about a little bit more in depth about its importance. As we live in this age where data is golden, but data in the raw form, as we see it, is some kind of locked treasure. Now, embeddable AI is the key to unlock it. And by making data actionable, embeddable AI holds the potential to drive efficiency, but it can also help to reduce your cost or enhance your customer experience, and even create this new type of revenue streams by creating new products and new services. Now, I worked with a mid-sized type of manufacturing firm, and they were struggling with equipment maintenance, for example. And breakdowns were common with them, and predictive maintenance was unheard of. Now, that's when they start using embeddable AI into their existing system. Now, this transformation was almost immediately once they implemented it and they integrated it. And the AI module continuously analyzed their machine data. It was predicting these possible breakdowns and suggesting this preemptive maintenance. Now, these real-life stories like this, I think they resonate deeply, at least they do with me. And I want to explore a couple of other use cases as well, turning your heads into the B2B space. First, for example, let's consider the healthcare sector. Embeddable AI is revolutionizing telemedicine. So imagine a remote consultation system where the AI assists doctors in diagnosing the diseases by analyzing the patient's data, and they do that in real time. And not only this expedites the consultation, but also significantly enhances the accuracy of the diagnosis, and especially in these remote areas with limited access to specialists. Now, embeddable AI is undoubtedly a game changer across industries. Throughout this live session, we will continually explore the applications, the challenges, but also the roadmap to effective implementation. Now, as we delve further, it's imperative that we build a solid understanding of what embeddable AI is. George, I think you're the expert in this. Would you grace us with an introduction to embeddable AI from your perspective and your experience with ISVs?
Sure. Thank you, Ronald. So the strategy around AI today, at least at IBM, but more importantly across all companies, is really twofold, right? We continue to release new software offerings, new products in the market, and we continue to infuse AI into those offerings. Those are spaces like digital labor, like IT automation, security, sustainability, etc. In parallel to that, what we've seen is that software companies out there are looking to leverage AI and build it into their offerings. Therefore, it needs to be exposed with the right tooling, the right approach, so that I can just use the AI that I see being applicable in my business. Some of our products and applications are pre-domain optimized, pre-trained, and those are particularly relevant for folks who are maybe more business user friendly. But for software companies who are developer savvy, it's important that they get access to the right tools at their disposal to build into their products and solutions. Really good example of sort of products and applications is what we've done within our HR department. So within our department, I've been at IBM for 10 years, and this was previously an incredibly repetitive process to get anything accomplished. We've built AI into that process so that now I can go and interact with our AI systems and get some of those high frequency, low complexity, repetitive tasks accomplished on my own without having to go to one of our experts. So across our 700 experts that used to be working in this space, now only 50 of them need to focus on this. So what does that mean? That means that the other 650 can focus on higher value activities. They can focus on working with talent managers, processing, other management, helping managers progress their career, right? So that's just one example of what we're doing on the product and application side of the house. Across digital labor, some of our enterprise clients that are using this today, they're experiencing 95% accuracy when it comes to getting their questions answered using automation. They're experiencing 60% faster processing. 75% of the time, they're able to reduce their time spent searching for information. So the opportunity in this space is massive. Shifting gears to embeddable AI, partner focused, right? Really good example is what we've done in the IT support space. Now across IT support, this is the space where enterprises come to us every single day and they say, I'd like to bring AI into our IT support practice. right? That involves IBM working with them, defining the use case, potentially building out a user interface, custom integrations to things like BMC Remedy, ServiceNow, ConnectWise. Where embeddable AI fits there is we're able to work with partners that are experts in this space, that have spent decades in this space and know it better than we do, candidly. So one of our partners in this space is called Crushbank Technology. They've spent decades going from using manual resources to understanding where AI can be applicable to now building out a fully automated software application. They can accelerate our clients' time to value. And what they've seen across their clients today is within weeks, not months, their clients can close 20% more tickets per person. Now that's something that enterprises want, and that's a big inhibitor when it comes to AI adoption. How do I get quick time to value? So where IBM isn't an expert, we're experts in AI, in building out, and we've got a whole staff of PhDs that are out there building robust AI capabilities. When it comes to software partners who specialize in particular areas, that's where we can really scale our platform and where we can provide differentiated value to enterprise clients.
And I really like your HR example, and it really shows how impactful it basically is and showcases the sheer power of embeddable AI in action. And I like to tell stories as well. Let's take another example, a global shipping conglomerate. We call it now Ship & Co. Their fleet of cargo ships, they basically traverse the globe and ensure that the goods reach the destination on time. But I think there's a catch. The volatile fuel prices, we see fluctuating weather conditions, of course, we see shifting regulations, which creates some kind of labyrinth of challenges. And this is where embeddable AI really makes an impact. Now, the Ship & Co., they integrated AI into the navigation and logistics system. And the AI-assisted navigation system now predicts weather patterns. It calculates, for example, optimal routes. It even adjusts the speed to maximize the fuel efficiency. So it really starts augmenting the company. But with any, let's say, disruptive technology, there's also challenges which are inevitable. If you look to this Ship & Co. case, one of the major challenges was data security and was their compliance, and especially with ships crossing this international waters with a wide breadth of regulations. They also did not have the right expertise to build it in-house to manage that with AI. Now, to overcome this, Ship & Co. established this central data governance framework, and embeddable AI was programmed to adapt its operations based upon these regional regulations. Another challenge that was the initial resistance of the crew. They're kind of afraid. They were skeptical about AI. Now, to address this, Ship & Co. also invested in training and highlighting the AI role, and you were mentioning, George, already, you need to transform the roles of people. If you have 650 people and you go back to 50, people can do other things. And this AI role is just ensuring the efficiency, and the crew, it helped as well. The AI helped to improve the safety of the crew, and the crew could spend time on more creative type of jobs. Now, it's vital to understand that embeddable AI, it's not a silo, but it's an integral component that collaborates with humans and augments humans. So it incorporates the embeddable AI into the operation, and this led to a significant reduction in the fuel cost, in timely deliveries, but also enhance the safety for the people. And I firmly believe that this is a true testament to the potential of AI in transforming a business. And if we look to the Ship & Co. story, it really illuminates the importance of not just embracing embeddable AI, but also addressing the related challenges with insights and with foresight, and with the challenges you have with transforming the people. Now, George, as you work with many ISVs, you shared already some great examples, but do you have some more great showcases where you show the power of embeddable AI?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ronald. So the opportunity here is obviously massive. We're talking about, very quick time to value around areas like sales and marketing, contact center as a service, survey marketing, customer experience, risk, procurement, contract analysis, legal document analysis, any area within professional services firms where you're doing things like tax or audit. There's a tremendous amount of manual work that goes into that. And that's exactly where AI can be incredibly applicable. If it's okay with you, Ronald, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about some of the challenges that we've seen over the past few years and how we're addressing that moving forward. So the biggest challenge that we see today is that 54% of these AI projects don't move from pilot to production. So let's talk a little bit about why that is, right? It really comes down to three things. It comes down to labor, cost, and trust. When you think about labor and cost,
may I have your attention, please?
having a bit of a fire drill here. I'll talk. Ronald, why don't you jump in and then I'll finish my thought.
Yeah, sure. This is nice real live broadcast, and it can't be predicted, unfortunately not. But if we talk about the challenges, basically, embeddable AI can be a catalyst for transformation on one hand. However, it's crucial to navigate these type of challenges and do that effectively. Now, one primary challenge that I see a lot is data quality. Embeddable AI thrives on data, but if this data is inconsistent, or whether the data is unreliable, the outcomes can be far from desired, and that's not what you want. Now, another significant challenge is the ethical use of AI. As we see, there's really a thin line between what's feasible and what's ethical. And crossing this line can lead on one end to reputational damage, but also sometimes to legal repercussions. Now, with the great power also comes, of course, great responsibility. So how do enterprises ensure that they walk this path diligently? Now, strategically speaking, I think it's imperative to have a robust data governance framework in place, and this includes ensuring that data quality, that compliance regulations and transparent decision-making processes are in place. Additionally, if we continuously monitoring a feedback loop, which are essential to adapt to this ever-changing market, ever-changing technology, which are really crucial to stay compliant. Now, that's, let's say, one of the big challenges that I see. George, I'm not sure if in the meantime your alarm has slowed down, so maybe you can dive into your challenges that you see in the market.
Sure. Yeah. So picking up where we left off, AI adoption, right? Over the past few years, automation has just been too labor intensive. When it comes to building different models, there's an 8-step process from data cleansing, data curation, model development, model deployment. That's incredibly time consuming. And then when you want to do it again, you have to start all over from scratch. So that can be cost intensive, labor intensive, etc. Over the past few years, with the advent of what are called foundation models, we've significantly accelerated time to value around that, right? The first 4 steps of that 8-step process have now been automated, and you're going to continue to see thousands of foundation models coming out over the next few weeks. On the trust side of the house, right? I don't know if you noticed, Ronald, but the European Parliament recently came out about 2 weeks ago with what they call an AI Act, where they mentioned that foundation models are lacking in their ability to understand governance, data, risk, where it's all coming from. And that is a big inhibitor today, especially over in Europe. So massive AI adoption still hinges on trust. And at IBM, we've basically founded the trusted AI space. When Congress is looking for guidance on what kind of governance protocols to have in place, they call IBM up to testify and focus on that. We fundamentally believe that a hybrid cloud plus AI strategy is going to differentiate all of our enterprises from their competition. Hybrid cloud will do for AI what broadband did for internet. Really good example of where we've had success in this space, leveraging a hybrid strategy plus trusted AI, is what we've done with one of the largest banks in the world, Citigroup. So for Citigroup, they have thousands of different compliance managers that are responsible for monitoring hundreds of thousands of calls within their contact center for compliance purposes. Now, if this, in the manual process world, these compliance managers can really only analyze about 1 to 2% of those calls to make sure they're compliant. We have built AI fundamentally into that entire end-to-end process. So now Watson is transcribing the calls, analyzing the calls, scoring the calls, and able to provide 100% clarity around where are the areas that these different compliance managers should be focused. Really good example where we're dealing with very, very sensitive data. It was very important that whatever AI Citigroup chose to leverage could reside behind their firewall. So this will continue to be a fundamental focus for IBM, and we're really, really excited to launch what we're calling RvL&x on July 7th. This is IBM's approach and foray into addressing that foundation model issue. We're going to be launching 4 new foundation models that have been trained on cleansed data, removed from bias, removed from hate speech, and those are going to be focused on a number of generative AI tasks as well as non-generative AI tasks. You'll be able to leverage those. We've also launched a partnership with Hugging Face, one of the largest open source providers of natural language processing models. You'll be able to leverage third-party models. You'll be able to leverage IBM models, and you'll be able to build your own models all within one sort of studio interface. So RvL&x.ai will be that studio. RvL&x.data will be the area where you can cleanse your own data using our tooling or leverage IBM proprietary data that we've cleansed on our own. And then RvL&x.governance, which is going to be coming out later in the year, which will help you navigate the end-to-end model development governance lifecycle to make sure that you understand how your AI is coming through the decisions that it is. So we're really excited about where we're going in this space. Like I said, hybrid cloud and AI will continue to be fundamental for the enterprise. And for those that are leveraging AI, you'll begin to disrupt and displace your competition if they're not doing the same.
Yeah, and I really like this announcement. I can't wait till the 7th of July, some big announcements. And I would like to dive a little bit more into detail in this AI transparency and governance, and where you were mentioning now you can check 100% of the data, which makes it very, very powerful compared to just 1 or 2%. And if we talk about AI transparency and governance, AI transparency is about making decision-making and process an AI system understandable and explainable to humans as well. So it's about opening this, what for many people is a black box, and making AI reasoning make it clear. And on the other hand, governance is the framework for the policies, for the procedures, for the practices to ensure that AI operates within this ethical, legal and quality standards as the EU, but also other governments want really. Now, I want to give one more example, and it's from a leading bank case. I call it now Secure Bank, that employs embeddable AI for credit risk assessments, and that makes it, I think, very clear what this transparency means. So they have an AI system that can instantly assess thousands of data points to determine credit worthiness. However, when a loan is denied, clients want to know why it is denied. And I think here is where transparency comes into play. The AI system must provide an understandable, explainable explanation for its decision. And this is where governance becomes important. By having proper governance, the secure bank ensures that AI decision making aligns with the regulations, is free from bias, and respects the customer privacy. I think now we can go. We have some time for the QA, and I see quite some people and have questions dropped in the chat already. Let's dive into the first one. Maybe this one for you, George. According to my understanding, this is from Rosemary. The foundation models are not offering standardized API across various models available in the market, and this hinders adoption probably. What are your thoughts on this? Can you pick this up?
Yeah, just piggybacking off of the comment I made around this new AI Act, right? What we've basically learned is these foundation models that exist today, what they've done to sort of evangelize AI in the consumer space has been incredible. And it's been incredible for IBM and many other technology companies out there. One of the challenges that we see is that they rarely disclose information regarding the data that they've been trained on, the compute that they've been using, the deployment of the models themselves. They're not disclosing any information around that. And that makes it really challenging for enterprises to adopt those within production solutions. Ronald's example is spot on, right? Think about loan processing, mortgage approval. How are these machine learning models coming to the decisions that they are, right? Are there inherent biases that they've been trained on that are causing them to potentially model drift in certain directions? Those are all things that need to be taken into account in order to make sure that we're optimizing the value of AI, but we're doing it in a trusted and transparent way. And that's really fundamentally where we're focused today.
Yeah, we have one more question from Carla, where she asked, what about SME companies? Is embeddable AI applicable for that? Let me shortly dive into it, and maybe you can jump on later on, George. So if I look to embeddable AI, it's definitely not only for large enterprises, and especially SMEs who do not have all the resources and all the skills in-house. They can benefit tremendously to streamline their operations, to automate repetitive tasks, and to gain insights for better decision making, as they just have a plug-and-play solution instead of needing a whole team to build, where they maybe either cannot afford the team or they cannot have access to the resources. George, what's your opinion on the SME market?
Yeah, I think that's a fundamental area that's kind of ripe for disruption, and we've seen it across a number of different instances over the past 10 years, even before the advent of some of this foundation model work, right? But it's absolutely focused on areas where maybe I'm overwhelmed with the amount of data and information that I need to ingest, analyze, interpret, make sense of on a daily basis. And maybe that is inhibiting my ability to deliver an optimal customer experience, right? That's where AI can be incredibly valuable. Leverage AI to do some of that high frequency, low complexity type of work. Surface those insights directly to your knowledge worker who can focus on more creative, more higher value type of activities. That's a fundamental area where we're going to continue to see significant disruption. So the experts out there are going to need to understand how they can leverage AI within their business process, their day-to-day activities, so that they optimize their performance and the customer experience versus their competition.
Yeah, thanks. And I see much more questions coming in. Thanks for all these insightful questions. Unfortunately, we're almost at the half an hour. So my team will come back to answering these questions. The conversation doesn't stop here. Let's continue the conversation on social media. And I think we just showed an incredible journey through the landscape of embeddable AI. And I think before we just sign off, let's crystallize some takeaways. If I can summarize it, I think embeddable AI is transformative. It's allowing systems to autonomously make intelligent decisions. It helps with the transparency, it helps with the governance, and it helps the humans to augment the humans in improving their work, improving their performance. George, maybe from you, some last remarks and some tips for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, talking to software companies and partners and enterprises out there, it's a really exciting space today where everyone is trying to figure out ways to incorporate AI into their internal versus external different applications. We've spent a lot of time in this space, a few decades, and we're more than happy to work with you to help you understand where these capabilities may be applicable, maybe where they're not applicable. More importantly, right? We can provide the best practices to help you incorporate AI into your platform. And we've got one of the most comprehensive portfolios out there where we've thought about what's relevant for developers, what's relevant for data scientists, and what's relevant for business SMEs when it comes to AI and adopting it into your business processes. So welcome any other questions or comments. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Happy to discuss.
Thank you, George, for these nice words. And I want to extend my sincerest gratitude to IBN for facilitating this, to George, of course, and to the audience for joining us today at this broadcast, and to everybody who tuned in. Now, the future AI is a tapestry that we weave together. Let's make it a masterpiece. Thanks for joining. This is The Intelligent World, and we're looking forward to seeing you next time.